Good morning. Welcome to a new session of video classes. In this class, we will discuss about two very important topics in the theory of relativity. Okay. One is E is equal to mc square derivation of E is equal to mc square, and the other one is the relativistic relative velocities. The relativistic relative velocities. It means that the relative velocities between two bodies, okay, in the aspect of relativity. That is our second topic, and the first topic is derivation of E is equal to mc square. E is equal to mc square. No equation is as famous as this E is equal to mc square in physics. This is such a significant formula. No formula is as famous as this one. This is proposed by Einstein. This is what is known as Einstein's mass energy equivalence or mass energy conservation principle. This is known as the mass energy conservation principle. It is having great importance in the physics. It is the formula which gives or which describes or which explains how the energy generates from the stars. And because of this energy which spreads over the solar families, okay, the members of the solar families will exist, and okay, Earth-like planet is having the life. Therefore, all this is due to the conversion of matter into energy, and of course energy into matter. They are interconvertible according to the Einstein's mass energy conservation principle. E is equal to mc square. Mass and energy are interconvertible, and this is known as the mass energy conservation principle. We have conservation of mass. Conservation of mass means no mass can be created or it will be destroyed. Conservation of energy means energy is neither be destroyed nor be created, but one form of energy will be converted into other form of energy. Similarly, the mass will neither be destroyed nor be created, but one form of mass will be converted into other form of mass. Please observe these two definitions. But E is equal to mc square says that mass can be destroyed, mass can be created. Don't think that this is contradictory. Please observe very carefully. Now onwards. Mass can be destroyed, mass can be created only when simultaneously, okay, equivalent amount of energy will disappear or energy will be evolved. It means that mass can be destroyed only when simultaneously the equivalent amount of energy will be generated. And similarly, mass can be created only when simultaneously equivalent amount of energy will vanishes. Similarly, the energy also. Energy can be destroyed and energy can be created. Energy can be destroyed only when simultaneously equivalent mass of energy comes into existence. and energy can be created only when simultaneously equivalent amount of mass will be vanishes. These are very interesting statements. Please have a in-depth view on these two definitions. Okay, that's why energy and mass are interconvertible, and they are always bind together with the formula E is equal to mc square, in which E is the energy and m is the mass. This great equation, this famous equation, this great formula was derived in the theory of relativity with the help of the theory of relativity. That is our present task. We want to discuss how the E is equal to mc square principle was derived from, okay, the concepts of theory of relativity. Einstein's mass energy equivalence can be established effectively from the aspects of theory of relativity. Okay, these are the various steps which are shown in the slides, and the same steps will be there in the student's material. Therefore, for giving more importance for the student materials, now I will discuss or I will derive this E is equal to mc square using the student's material. Alright, derivation of E is equal to mc square from relativity. For that one, very simple and of course very interesting derivation and topic, that is, for that one, take a mass, a particle of rest mass m0. Let it is subjected to a force so that it can get a velocity v. Then automatically we know that its total energy is equal to kinetic energy plus rest mass energy. That is nothing but a potential energy. Okay. In the particle physics, in the atomic and nuclear and particle physics, so particles are having their rest mass energy because of their existence in different fields. Therefore, the total energy of a particle is equal to kinetic energy plus rest mass energy. Therefore, total energy is equal to kinetic energy. Let it is K here. Okay, rest mass energy is always m0 c square, where m0 is the rest mass and c square is the square of the velocity of the light. Right. Now we will try to derive what is this on the kinetic energy. Kinetic energy. Okay, for that one, take the relativistic mass. Just in the previous class, okay, we derived length contraction, time dilatation, and by that time I said that okay, relativistic mass was derived in your previous classes or previous okay, stages of your studies. Therefore, relativistic mass, that is moving mass of a body when it is moving with some velocity, m is equal to m0 by root of 1 minus v square by c square. It means that the moving mass is more than the rest mass. Okay, it means that when a stationary observer measures the mass of a moving object, then the measured mass by that observer will be greater than the true mass. By that, what amount this one, m0 by root of 1 minus v square by c square. Okay, right. Now, due to the application of force, the body acquires a velocity v. Therefore, the velocity acquired by the body will gives the kinetic energy, and let decay is kinetic energy acquired to displace a particle to a distance dx. Let to dx is the distance displaced by the force due to the application of the force. Then the kinetic energy is decay. Let that kinetic energy decay. The kinetic energy decay is equal to dW. What is dW? Work done to displace the body through a small distance dx. Therefore, now this small amount of or the work done, the kinetic energy for the displacement of dx is equal to force into displacement, force into F into dx. But F is equal to, F is nothing but rate of change of momentum. Okay, therefore d by dt of mv, the rate of change of momentum, d by dt of momentum. Here mass changes, velocity also changes. This is not a case of Newtonian mechanics, this is a relativistic mechanics, therefore mass also changes. Therefore, these two quantities are variables and these two quantities will be affected by the differentiation. Therefore, dk is equal to mdv by dt into dx plus v dm by dt into dx. Alright. This particular equation will be conveniently simplified by putting m here, dv here only, dx by dt as a single term, similarly v dm here, dx by dt as a single term here. Dx by dt is nothing but velocity, rate of change of displacement is nothing but velocity. Therefore, now this will become mv dv plus v into v square dm. Right, v square dm. Okay, this is the kinetic energy. This is the amount of kinetic energy acquired by the body because of its displacement through a small distance dx due to the application of the force. Right. Okay. Now we will take the relativistic mass. Relativistic mass m is equal to m naught by root of 1 minus v square by c square. Square of that is equal to m square is equal to m naught square by 1 minus v square by c square. After LCM and after displace to a single term, then what will happen? C square minus v square will come here and denominator c square will goes up. Therefore, now this will become m square into c square minus v square is equal to m naught square c square. Okay, right. Now this is the m square c square minus m square v square is equal to m naught square c square, m naught square c square. Let us differentiate both sides. Okay, I said that here mass is differentiable, mass is also variable, velocity is also variable. But light velocity of light is constant and rest mass is also constant. Please remember that one. Therefore, now the differentiation 2mc square dm minus 2mv square dm minus 2vm square dv is equal to, these two are constants, rest mass is constant, velocity of light is also constant. Therefore, that is equal to 0. Throughout you can cancel 2m and 2m also here. Therefore, now you have c square dm minus v square dm. Here you have mv or vm dv is equal to 0. Right. What is kinetic energy here? What is the amount of kinetic energy amounted here? mv dv plus v square dm. Okay. Now here also mv dv plus v square dm. mv dv plus v square dm. When these two are taken to the other side, mv dv plus v square dm is equal to c square dm. Therefore, okay, in this kinetic energy, small amount of kinetic energy, instead of RHS value, we can able to substitute c square dm, which is obtained from relativistic mass equation. Therefore, now the kinetic energy decay is equal to instead of mv dv plus v square dm, now we can substitute c square dm. Therefore, dk is equal to c square dm. This is the kinetic energy acquired by the particle due to a displacement of small dx. If you want the total kinetic energy, when the body is displaced from its rest mass to to a certain value of velocity v, let the mass changes from rest mass to the relativistic mass. Therefore, kinetic energy, total kinetic energy Ke or K is integral of dk, where the lower and upper limits of the integral is m0 to m. Why? m0 is the rest mass. What is m? M is the mass, relativistic mass acquired by the body after it attains a velocity v from its rest position. Therefore, lower limit and upper limit are m. Here c square is constant, therefore c square comes out. dm integration is m. On substitution of upper limit and then lower limit, you will get m minus m0. Therefore, this is the kinetic energy acquired by the body. Therefore, the kinetic energy acquired by the body is equal to c square m minus c square m0, or mc square minus m0 c square. Now the total energy is equal to k into m0 c square, where Ke or kinetic energy is equal to mc square minus m0 c square. Already the rest mass energy m0 c square is there, and m0 c square and m0 c square will cancel. M0 c square and m0 c square will cancel, and you will get to your energy, the total energy of the particle when it moves from rest position to a position where it acquired a velocity v, is equal to, that total energy is equal to mc square, where m is, what is m here? This is the relativistic mass, or this is the mass of the particle by the time it acquired velocity. It is the relativistic mass, it is not a rest mass. Please remember that one. E is equal to mc square. In this way, E is equal to mc square can be very easily, very effectively derived from the concepts of what this one, theory of relativity. Very beautiful derivation, very simple derivation, very effective derivation, with which we will get the total energy E is equal to mc square from this one. Right. This is about the first topic. Right. In the next topic of this particular class, we will derive the addition of velocities with the special theory of relativity. Or it is also known as derive velocity transformation velocity in relativity. How velocity, what are the velocity transformation equations in the relativity? What is the topic now? We are going to discuss addition of velocities or relative velocities with the special theory of relativity. It may be addition of velocities, or actually they are the what is this one? The relative velocities. These are the equations which can be used as the velocity transformations. That is transformation of velocity from one frame to the other frame when two inertial frames measure the velocity of a moving particle. That's why these equations are known as the velocity transformation equations. Right. They are nothing but the relative velocity equations. In Newtonian mechanics, we know that when two bodies moves on the same straight line, with one with a velocity v, the other with the velocity u, in the same direction. In that case, the relative velocity is equal to v difference u. Whichever is more, you will get v difference u. If the two bodies are moving in opposite directions on the same straight line, in that case the relative velocity is equal to v plus u. In opposite directions, v plus u. In the same direction, v difference u. Whichever is more, we will deduct the other from that one. That is the formula for the relative velocities of two bodies in Newtonian mechanics or classical mechanics. But that formula is not applicable here. It has great modification, because in the relativity all the basic physical quantities, mass, length, time changes. Because of the change of mass, length, time, all the formulas will be affected with some modifications in the relativity or relativistic mechanics. That's why now we are going to derive the relativistic addition of velocities or the relativistic relative velocities. are the velocity transformation equations. Velocity transformation equations. Because these, by means of these equations, we can able to transfer the velocity measured by one inertial frame to the velocity measured by the other inertial frame when there is a relative motion between these two inertial frames. Right. And the two inertial frames, S and S prime. Everything is common. Okay. Two inertial frames, S and S prime, as usually, okay, in our studies. Okay. S is a stationary frame, S prime is a moving frame. Okay. S prime is moving with respect to S, with respect to the stationary frame S along the common x-axis direction. Along the common x-axis direction. Okay, common x-axis direction. That a body travels. Okay. Suppose if a body travels a distance dx in time dt in frame S, it means that an observer in the frame S, okay, measures that a body travels a distance dx in time dt. Therefore, its velocity is equal to dx by dt. Okay, its velocity is equal to dx by dt. Let that is u. Let that is u. Okay, right. Now, okay, the same body moves. Let the same body, as it is a system, the same body is okay found to move a distance dx prime in dt prime in time, okay, in s1 frame, in moving frame. Okay, let a body moves a distance dx prime in dt prime. Therefore, the velocity of that particular body is equal to dx prime by dt prime. Let that is equal to u prime. Okay, right. Just please observe very carefully. This is the velocity of a velocity measured by an observer in the S frame. This is the velocity measured by an observer in the moving frame. But already this moving frame is moving with a velocity v relative to S. Therefore, classical mechanics says that the true velocity or u is equal to u prime plus v, u prime plus v. It means that okay, already this frame is moving with the velocity v, but it measured the velocity of the object as u prime. Therefore, addition of velocities are the relative velocity. Okay, relative velocity of these two will give the velocity of the object measured by in S frame. That is very known to you. You know all this one. Okay, from your Newtonian mechanics, this is the Newtonian mechanics equation. And then if you want u prime means the velocity measured by the moving frame, that is equal to velocity measured by the moving frame means okay, the velocity measured by the stationary frame always minus the relative velocity, because the relative velocity is there in between these two frames. This is the velocity by the rest frame. This is the velocity measured by the moving frame. Therefore, velocity measured by the moving frame is always okay obtained by deducting its the relative velocity u minus v. Okay, that's why u prime is equal to u minus v. Or if you want u, it will be u prime plus v. And these two are the relations similar to the relative velocities in the Newtonian mechanics. That is, if the two bodies are moving in the same direction, it is okay u minus v. If the two bodies are moving in opposite direction on the same line, it is u plus v. Okay, this is about the classical mechanical equations. But now these are not applicable. Okay, now you will get to relativistic addition of velocities, or relativistic relative velocities, or relativistic transformation, velocity transformation equation. So, okay, by means of Lorentz transformation, by means of Lorentz transformations, in which you will have this term and this term, but in addition to this one, you will have some more term. You will have some more term. Now we will derive that one. Okay, right. In case of relativity, these two relations will change, and just now I said that they can be obtained from the Lorentz transformations, right? Lorentz transformations, okay, x coordinate transformation, x prime is equal to x minus vt by root of 1 minus v square by c square, very known to you. T prime is equal to t minus vx by c square whole by root of 1 minus v square by c square. Let us differentiate these two equations. Let us differentiate these two equations. Okay, these two equations. This one is differentiated with respect to x. This one is differentiated with respect to t. Okay, x and t. We will differentiate these two equations with respect to x. Here the variable is x. Both x and t will be differentiated. Okay, right. That's why when this one is differentiated, you will get dx prime is equal to, okay, x will become dx minus v is constant, t is equal to dt by root of 1 minus v square by c square. No change. Here dt t prime, now it will become dt prime t dt minus v by c square constant, x is dx by root of 1 minus v square by v c square common. When these two are divided, okay, LHS dx prime by dt prime is equal to the denominators will cancel. Now the numerator dx minus v dt by dt minus v by c square into dx. Let us what is this one? Divide the numerator as well as denominator with dt. Let us divide the numerator as well as the denominator with dt. When dx is divided with dt, dx by dt. When v dt is divided by dt, dt will cancel and you will get v here. Now, in case of denominator, when dt is divided with dt, you will get 1 here. Minus v by c square, dx is divided with dt, dx by dt. Suppose you please observe this one. Okay, this is LHS. Dx prime by dt prime, u prime. Dx by dt, v u. Of course, minus v, 1 minus v square by dx by dt is v. Okay, dx by dt is, what is dx by dt? U, sorry, not v, it is u. Therefore, now from the Lorentz transformations, we obtain that v prime u prime is equal to u minus v whole by 1 minus vu by c square, in which what is u? Velocity of a body with respect to stationary frame. What is u prime? Velocity of a body with respect to the moving frame. What is v? The relative velocity between these two. There is a relative velocity between these two. Therefore, velocity with respect to a moving frame is equal to velocity with respect to the stationary frame minus relative velocity. Up to this one, this is the Newtonian mechanics formula. But by, this is the additional term, 1 minus vu by c square. Now this will be the relativistic addition of velocities or relative velocities or velocity transformation equations. It means that if you know u, you can get the u prime value, or if you know the u prime value, you can get the u value, because all the quantities are other quantities. What are the other quantities? C is a constant, v is the relative velocity between these two. Okay, alright. Similarly, of course, if you want u value is nothing but u prime plus v by 1 plus v u prime by c square. 1 plus v instead of u here, u prime by c square. Okay, these are the relativistic relative velocities or relativistic addition of velocities, are better to say as the velocity transformation equations. So, in the relativity, velocity transformation equations means, okay, two inertial frames with respect to each other can measure the velocity of a body differently. Okay, now these two measurements are related with these formulas. It means that by means of this formula, if you know the velocity measured by one frame, you can automatically calculate the velocity measured by the other frame, and vice versa, provided, okay, the relative velocity between these two frames are known to you. That's why they are known as the relativistic transformation equations. Okay, this is about these two topics. One is about E is equal to mc square. The other one is okay, velocity transformation equations are relativistic addition of velocities. Right? See you in the